My name is Kasra Manavi. I'm the Director of Research and Communications at Simtable, and I'm here to talk to you today about Realtime.Earth, collective intelligence from distributed imagery while maximizing privacy for Wildland fire. This work was done in part by me and my collaborators, Gould, Cody, Joshua Thorp, and Guerin, all associated with Simtable and Redfish Group. So to begin, we are currently fighting blind on wildland fire incidents. This is primarily due to two factors: delayed reports of fire and uncoordinated information dissemination. So recently, more and more catastrophic wildland fire incidences have been occurring, including the Tubbs, Atlas, and Camp fires, where significant structure damage and considerable losses of life have occurred. Take for instance the Camp Fire from 2018 shown here on the right. The fire started in Polga, roughly where the star is located, just before 7 a.m. and raced towards the town of Paradise at a rate of roughly 1 football field a second. It consumed Paradise by mid-afternoon, resulting in 85 deaths and scenes like this.
Paradise Police, how can I help you?
Are we supposed to be evacuated or what?
No, you'll be notified. There's a fire north of Concal, up off of Highway 70. No danger to Paradise, okay?
Well, it says evacuation west side of Pence Road.
What says that?
Butte. Fire.
Okay, we haven't been advised of that. If you have gotten a phone call, or if you feel see flames or feel the need to leave, then do that at this time. But we haven't been notified, okay?
Knowing this scene and many others like it were due to a lack of coordination, we at Simtable and Redfish Group have been focusing on answering the question: how can we improve intelligence during the first 3 hours of an incident? We believe approaching wildland fire would benefit from viewing the problem with a collective intelligence perspective. For example, first responders and citizens should leverage coordinating collective action to deal with firefighting and seeking refuge, respectively. Transferring intel should rely on trusted networks and leverage a peer-to-peer solution to deal with issues of limited bandwidth and security. Finally, intelligence gathered about a fire's rate of spread can be used to predict progressions of other fires that may occur that season. Data streams relevant to wildland fire are diversifying, including publicly accessible imagery like that shown on the right, sourced from alertwildfire.org, or live content via social media, say Twitter or Facebook. The fusion of these outlets is essential for providing real-time situation awareness, but accomplishing this can be performed in two different ways: either a centralized solution that is implemented now, or a decentralized solution inspired by collective intelligence. Currently, the incident command system has been used in the wildland fire community for nearly half a century. Although the ICS is scalable and profound in its ability to establish organizational structure, it requires both time and resources to be fully implemented. However, after action reviews typically document lack of communications and the inability to garner reliable situational awareness. Under its current design, the command and control model is hierarchical and, broadly speaking, pushes information down, which takes time. For our strategy, we favor a more bottom-up, surveillance-based approach that ubiquitously collects and distributes information in real time. Our strategy is being implemented as a platform called Realtime.Earth. This platform focuses on enabling collective intelligence on incident and runs totally within the web browser. Data flowing through the system begins as imagery that is captured or collected from other sources into a geo-rectified scene from which intelligence can be collected from. This intel is then passed on to those who may need it, including first responders, decision makers, and citizens, who may then in turn provide additional imagery, continuing the cycle. To begin, our goal is to find all current data streams relevant to a wildland fire incident. Like mentioned before, these data streams are diversifying, including citizens and first responders, who are your first field observers with the cell phones in their pockets, Other streams mentioned before, the Alert Wildfire or other community watch cameras, along with social media such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. Once this imagery has been sourced, they need to be put into context with the incident. To do this, we geo-rectify the imagery to produce GIS-based intelligence. Camera poses of the images are determined and used to correspond latitude-longitude coordinates with the image pixels. These correspondences allow both image annotations to become GIS data, as well as GIS data becoming viewable in camera. Finally, once this GIS data has been converted into actionable intelligence, the resulting intel can be forwarded on to the appropriate users, and locations lacking information can be requested for imagery. The intel comes in the form of a live map that updates in real time and is tailored to the viewer. From this data, again, requests can be made for photos and videos of locations with out-of-date imagery. As for privacy concerns, our goal is to maximize privacy options for the owners of relevant data streams. This is enabled by our platform's foundation of being decentralized. Data is stored locally, but accessible by request. Owners share only pixels they wish and can provide pixels responding to a request. But as more and more imagery is being contributed, more and more correspondences are associated with a given lat long, and it becomes harder to determine the source of the imagery. We have leveraged Realtime.Earth on a variety of incidents. In this presentation, we focus on two: the Camp Fire of 2018 and the Maria Fire of 2019. For the Camp Fire that we were talking about earlier, imagery was collected from both public and official sources, including Facebook, YouTube, AirOps, Landsat 8 satellite data, and Dispatch. All these were collected and used to construct On the right here, we show a comparison of two progressions. One on the top based upon data from the National Interagency Fire Center, or NIFC. The other utilizing additional information sources leveraging Realtime.Earth. On the bottom. Our refined progression provides some insights into the significant amount of spotting that occurred during the initial hours of the fire not captured by the NIFC progression. For the Maria Fire, ignition was reported at 6:15 p.m. Halloween night in 2019. At roughly 10:30 p.m., a report of a drone with no identifiable pilot grounded air operations, delaying official perimeter publication until the following day. Using Realtime.Earth, we were able to construct a perimeter of the fire at roughly 10:45 p.m. using publicly accessible imagery from alertwildfire.org and citizen imagery sources from Twitter and Periscope. Like earlier, we show two progressions on the right, one based upon data from NIFC on the top, the other utilizing publicly accessible imagery and Realtime.Earth on the bottom. The refined progression shows how quickly the fire spread in the early hours of the incident. Finally, in this video, we show how we envision our platform being used on incident. We begin with reports of fire that are within view of a camera. In this instance, an Alert Wildfire camera. Since this camera is calibrated, pixel correspondences provide the lat-long location of the fire start. This start location is then used to inform evacuation areas and produce alerts for the public. These alerts are picked up by citizens who have the ability to submit imagery. Once this imagery has been calibrated, it can be used to generate data that can inform fire behavior models and first responders. Depending upon the spatiotemporal resolution of the data, higher levels of analysis can be performed. For instance here, an Alert Wildfire camera with infrared imagery can be used to produce partial fire perimeters at regular intervals to calculate rates of spread. This imagery can further be analyzed using standard image analysis techniques to produce these perimeters. This rate of spread analysis is useful to fire models looking to tune their simulation parameters. In conclusion, we believe that collective intelligence has the potential to solve the dilemma of the first 3 hours by leveraging existing resources, distributed computation, and photogrammetry. In our future work, we plan on emphasizing the idea of a whole community response by assisting communities with fireshed watch cameras and encouraging preparedness outreach. Thanks for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or visit our website, simtable.com. Thanks again.